late, same shirt, all night I've been reporting. And after my all night of reporting, I needed to make sure that you understood that just because I was trying to be measured, trying to make sure that I had all the facts, and that I represented the decency that I think this channel represents, don't get it twisted. The main reason why Democrats all over that are on the internet, or just the voters, meaning not the politicians and the people getting paid on TV, the rest of us, we're very quick to say, tee-hee. It's not because we're bloodthirsty monsters. It's because we understand that the rhetoric that the right has been pushing for 6, 7, 8 years is the main reason for the violence and political division. So now that all of the reporting and all of the measured responses are done, let me say that to ensure you that no, I haven't lost my way. In case you were thinking that. In case you were looking and saying, man, Bruce Lively seems like he's really just softened up after this attempted shooting of the ex-president, which I don't think it. I mean, there's a lot to be said about all of this. We're still discussing it. But despite my measured response, no, I will not be gaslit. Don't gaslight me. You guys, I'm sure, have heard all the responses from the Republicans blaming Biden from the very first second, talking about it's because of the Democratic rhetoric. Shut up. We haven't forgotten about this.
Got my Paul Pelosi Halloween costume ready. A pair of underwear and a hammer.
And this?
Stand up to crazy Nancy Pelosi who ruined San Francisco. How's her husband doing, by the way? Anybody know? And she's against building a wall at our border, even though she has a wall around her house, which obviously didn't do a very good job.
Remember this?
Enough of Abigail Spanberger. Enough of Joe Biden. And listen, I want to stop for a minute and listen, Speaker Pelosi's husband, they had a break-in last night in their house, and he was assaulted. There's no room for violence anywhere, but we're going to send her back to be with him in California. That's what we're going to go do. That's what we're going to go do. And the voters are getting ready to stand up again and said, we have had enough.
This one, too. And this?
You know, we had no terror during my administration. The only terror we had was Nancy Pelosi, who's a crazed lunatic. She's a lunatic. She is a crazed lunatic. What the hell was going on with her husband? Let's not ask. Let's not ask. I'll withdraw that statement. By the way, she's got a wall around her house. Obviously, in that case, it didn't work very well.
What the hell happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband? He guy in his 80s, almost got beaten to death.
Here's a good one. Say it for me.
I mean, but
Yeah,
it's
good
probably
call.
more likely to go to Paul Pelosi, Susan Rice, and Gavin Newsom. So I think your list is correct, but a little off-brand for Big Joe. Rachel?
Yeah. Well, maybe Paul Pelosi needs the hammer instead of the metal.
Well, it's metal. All right. Rachel?
And don't forget this.
I mean, I'm looking at Politico.com. I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm looking at all these places, and there's a little bit of mention here. For example, Politico says top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. Of course you should reject any link. Why is the Republican Party, why is the conservative movement to blame for gay schizophrenic nudists that are hemp jewelry makers breaking into somebody's home, or maybe not breaking into somebody's home? Why are we to blame for that exactly? And why is he still in jail? Why has he not been bailed out? By the way, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. I bet his bail's like $30,000 or $40,000. Bail him out and then go ask him some questions.
So just to kind of start off right off the bat here, everything that Charlie Kirk just said about this alleged attack, not alleged attacker, we know the guy did it. Everything Charlie Kirk alleged is not true. By the way, we also recently got the, I don't know if you want to call it the confession letter or whatever, the manifesto of the attacker. And it's pretty obvious that he was a hardcore right-winger, and none of the conspiracy theories being pushed by people on the right turned out to be true. We have the attacker's own words now, and they show that, yes, he was a radicalized conservative. So here's the thing. Also, to kind of knock Charlie Kirk down a peg, the man's being held without bail. And that wasn't even hard to find, you idiot.
So stop gaslighting us. The reason why we're not all in tears is because we have decent politicians who at least came out and said, we're praying for him. You can't say the same. Get out of here, please. You want sympathy from those people, from us? Even if one day a radical left-wing Democrat goes out and does something crazy like this, you'll be hard-pressed to find 20 minutes like I did of the rhetoric that caused it. We're not the same. Stop it.
Donald Trump has a fetish for violence. He's encouraging the fetish for violence. One of the themes that runs through some of the things we've been talking about is his real appetite for brutality and for cruelty. During that speech, he once again, talked about his enthusiasm for the immediate death penalty. This is something that he has cultivated. And the fact that it gives millions of Americans a dopamine hit.
We see through your bull. Stop gaslighting us. We're not the same.